game. Taking over. Yeah, we taking over the game. Take over. Now we taking over the game. And you know we won't stop. Now we taking over the game. Taking over. Yeah, we taking over the game. Take over. Cause now we taking over the game. Yeah, we never stop. We don't feel the pain.
Wei-Yin Chen to lead things off. Swings at the first pitch, chops one just out of the reach of Martin, and Gurriel has no play. An infield single for Wei-Yin Chen.
Crazy smile. There you go. Chen's gotten a little better as the season has gone on. Elevated fastball, hits over the top. Ground ball to the left side, but gets it past Russell Martin at third. Knows and starts to smell a base hit. Gurriel really has to no shot at Chen, who was already halfway down the line.
Saturday night, it's the Blue Jays and the Marlins getting set. Wei-Yin Chen has the ball coming off a terrific start last time out. He will face the Blue Jays this time around. Lourdes Gurriel will lead things off. The rest of the Blue Jays lineup is presented to you by Southwest. Last night's hero, Justin Smoke, hits third. He's back at first tonight. And Russell Martin, not behind the plate, but rather over at third base. Wei-Yin Chen ready to roll, and his first pitch misses a little low to Gurriel Jr., the shortstop tonight. Again, Wei-Yin Chen, his 22nd start. How about 10 strikeouts last time out?
Yeah, he was absolutely dominant against the Atlanta Braves. Good numbers. How about the 4.91 ERA? I'm going to bring this up just for one moment. This is the first time this year. You mentioned in the open the fantastic August that he's had. We know how great he's been at home. This is the first start he's making since his opening day start that his ERA's been under 5.
Yeah, it's been an up and down season. The home road splits have certainly been a theme, a talking point, but Don Mattingly's got to be happy with what he's seen the last month.
Well, particularly at home, 1.86 ERA here at Marlins Park. I call him the Sigh of Marlins Park. 3 earned runs or less in 7 consecutive home starts.
Ball and 2 strikes. And in there for a called strike 3. So picking up right where he left off last time out. His third career 10 strikeout game and already one in the books.
92-mile-an-hour fastball at the top of the strike zone, inside corner. He was absolutely fantastic last time out. Great fastball command through 59 fastballs against the Atlanta Braves. Already starting very much the same way. Those 10 strikeouts you mentioned in the Braves game, 7 of the 10 came on the fastball.
First pitch to Devin Travis is outside. Travis 0 for 3 last night, an RBI walk that made it a 5-2 game. Just moments before the Smoke grand slam that gave the Blue Jays a 6-5 lead and eventually a 6-5 win.
Travis has been fond of interleague play throughout his career, particularly this season. 3 homers, 12 RBIs, just 40 at-bats.
One from Chen is rolled up the third base line, and Brian Anderson will touch that one foul. The ball and 2 strikes.
Let's get you the Marlins defensively for tonight's ball game. Dean gets the start in left field. Brinson back in center for the first time since July 3rd. The 24-year-old is going to get a lot of playing time here in the month of September. And boy, oh boy, he had a good June. We'll get into that a little bit later. Sierra gets the start in right. Anderson, Riddle, Rojas, and how about Martin Prado starting over at first base? His first start there since 2012. You were still in college, weren't you? Real Muto behind the plate.
You're close enough. I did ask Martin, I said, you get a little crash course with Bone the last week or so? He said yes, so he's ready to go.
Well, it's not a foreign spot to him. Now, in 2012, 57 games, 38 starts at first base. He just hasn't done it in a while, so hopefully it's like riding a bike.
2-2 is fouled off to the right side. For Travis, 4 for 11. A couple of walks, no strikeouts last 3 games. That's on the heels of a 1 for 29. His previous 7. Travis fights this one off. Right field will fall in front of Sierra for a one-out base hit. Now there's Prado and Perry Hill working on some footwork, some positioning.
Yeah, part of what's going on here is you have to, as a player, and certainly as a player transitioning over to a position you haven't played in a while, get a feel for your spot. Because Bowen, what he's going to do is say, okay, this is where I'd like for you to be, and then you factor in your athleticism, your reach, your body type and size, and you give or take a foot or two depending on who you are. For example, former Marlin Justin Bohr covered a lot more ground as far as his reach was concerned, but not so much with the foot. Right. Didn't cover as much ground with his feet, but did with his body. Martin a little bit more of an athlete, so we probably can get to a little bit more. You may see him off the bag more often. Off the line, I should say.
He holds Travis on as Chen delivers the 0-1 to Smoke. Can't hold up. 0-2, just as it was last night, when Drew Steckenrider, with the bases loaded, tried to beat him upstairs. Smoke got to him first.
Yeah, absolutely got on top. You can almost see him working to the spot. You see the head down and the top end so strong as he gets over the top of that fastball. Drives it out for a game-winning grand slam.
Fourth pinch hit grand slam in team history and first go-ahead pinch hit grand slam.
And he just felt like that momentum was set up, maybe even by the pitch prior to it. Steckenrider went to the top of the strike zone, got a strike that Smoke asked questions about. He thought it was up above the strike zone, knew he had to defend up there, and they went back up there again, and he was ready the second time.
That one low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. A couple of other notes on that grand slam. Third Blue Jays grand slam, the 9th inning or later. Most in Major League Baseball this year. Tied for the most in team history. They did that in 1989. And it was the first, check that, the third pinch hit grand slam down 3 runs with 2 outs in the 9th inning over the last 40 years. On the swing, and then taps Realmuto with the backswing. That's the second strikeout, second out of the inning. That'll bring up Randall Grichuk, the Florida Lottery in-game jackpot. Last 10 days. I think that'll play, right? 500. It's good. Sign up for that.
He's been getting it done. Putting together much better at bats. We talked about him quite a bit last night. Toronto Blue Jays would love to see Grichuk find some more consistency with the game. He's proven capable of running some streaks together, some great offensive streaks. We know he's got great power, but can he do it consistently at the major league level?
0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout in last night's ball game. Chases that one upstairs, and it's 0-2. Gets a bat on this one, pops it up, shallow left center field. Who's going to take it? It will be Lewis Brinson, the man that will bat second. We have documented his success with runners in scoring position all year long. A drive out to right field sends Grichuk back, and he leaps and makes the catch at the wall. Riddle's going to score. The other 2 runners have to retreat. Wow. Anderson didn't miss that one by much. He'll go to the dugout with an RBI, but didn't miss 4 by more than a couple feet.
Well, certainly, and maybe even a double. I'll tell you what, that catch, we'll see what ends up happening in this game. Hey, you watch Grichuk. Nice job pursuing. That's an outfielder who trusts his instincts. In fact, turned away 2 different times from the ball. Woo. Look, Mom, no hands. Well, wait, no eyes. Certainly used his hands.
The first inning could have been a little bit more, but they will take it. and take this 1-0 lead into the top of the second inning. Kevin Pillar, Russell Martin, and Danny Jansen do up against Wei-Yin Chen, who had a couple of strikeouts in the first inning. Coming off a 10 strikeout performance last time out against the Atlanta Braves. Marlins won that game 3-1. It was his first double-digit strikeout game since a career-high 12 in May of 2016. Called strike to Kevin Pillar, who was 0 for 4 in last night's ball game with a strikeout. Since coming off the disabled list, 24 games for Pillar, hitting .278. Soft looping liner over to short. Riddle takes care of that one.
Miami, join us for our neighborhood series. We are hosting a Coconut Grove Day at Marlins Park tomorrow when the Marlins host the Blue Jays. Tickets start at just $12 for all residents. For more information, visit marlins.com/neighborhood.
Russell Martin offers at the first pitch, pops it up, foul territory. Prado in foul ground for out number 2.
Well, 2 outs into the second. Chen certainly seems like he's got his mojo once again here at Marlins Park. Coming into tonight's ball game, 1.86 ERA here at Marlins Park. That is 3rd in Major League Baseball, chasing just Mr. Snell of the Rays. Got a 106 and
could win a Cy Young.
Yeah,
go ahead.
DeGrom
could win a Cy Young.
Some guy named DeGrom. 159.
Danny Jansen awaits the 0-1. Rounds it wide of the third base bag. 0-2. So the home, he's got that. That's on lockdown. We're good to go with the home. The other 2 guys, they said, in the mix for the Cy Young because they have been able to take it on the road.
Right. Well, and that's, I mean, that's a great point. You see the difference there. 9.35 ERA. I'll give you the run differential. 7.49. Now, we're talking minimums of 10 starts, and we're talking today, so there's still a month of baseball left. But if the season ended today, Paul, he would have the biggest differential in the history of the game of baseball ever. Wei-Yin Chen.
That is why we bring it up, for the historical aspect of it. A 9-pitch inning. 1-0 Marlins. As best he can, and it works right here.
Does a fantastic job. Drag bunt to the right side. Estrada, even after fielding it, realizes he's got no play. The best he's got is maybe a jump throw in foul territory with the hopes that maybe he gets here at first base. Job well done. Now he put that in the spot exactly where you want it, just where it's not too hard to where Smoke can actually make a play and Estrada can cover first. Forced Estrada to field the bunt.
Chen takes a strike. Well, the other thing about Sierra, yes, he's fast, but it also seems like he gets to top speed real quick, within a couple of strides. And Chen gets it down. It stays fair. Jansen will get the play at first. Sierra up to second. A lot of traffic in front of home plate, but Chen gets the job done. Travis at second. And 2 innings in the books here at Marlins Park. Miami with a 1-0 lead. Your South Florida dealer today, and by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. Look at South Beach on a Labor Day weekend. Inside Marlins Park, Paul Severino, Todd Hollinsworth with you as Teoscar Hernandez takes a called strike. 8-9-1 due up for the Jays. Hernandez, and then the pitcher Marco Estrada, and the shortstop Lourdes Gurriel Jr. A couple of strikeouts, both in the first inning for Chen. Worked around a 1-out walk in the first and set the Jays down 1-2-3 in the second. And Riddle play over to first. 1 away. Last of this 3-game set tomorrow. An afternoon affair, and that man right there, Jeff Brigham. Youngster is very excited to be making his major league debut tomorrow. Sam Gaviglio on the mound for the Toronto Blue Jays. So Brigham started the season at AA Jacksonville. 4-1 record, 1.18 ERA over 7 starts. Overall 10-3, 236 across 3 levels of the minor leagues.
Yeah, it sounds like Brigham's ready to bring it.
Well, they're bringing him up.
No, he's already been brought up. Whatever. He's here in uniform. What do you want?
We could go 2.5, 3 hours every night on just bad jokes. It'd be great. I would have fun with it. I don't know if the viewers would think, but I would love it.
Now Marco Estrada denied his 20th career hit. 19 for 134 in his career, 142 average. Had some at-bats in his time with the Milwaukee Brewers. Came up with the Nationals, so has some National League time, but yeah, it's been a while.
Top of the order for Gurriel. And Anderson gets the big hop. The throw to Prado. An 8-pitch 3rd inning for Wei-Yin Chen to begin September. Real Muto out to right center field. Long run for Pilar, who gives it a look. A solo home run to right center field for JT.
Wow. Not sure I believe that JT had that kind of pop. Career high 18th home run. That is impressive. My goodness. We watch JT a lot of times. We'll see straightaway center field. We'll see to left center field. Some of the
Devin Travis to lead things off. Takes a called strike from Chen, who now has a 2-0 lead to work with thanks to his battery mate, JT Realmuto, his 18th home run of the season. Travis a single back in the first inning. Travis, Justin Smoke, and Randall Grichuk. Travis fouls that one back. Travis, born in West Palm Beach, Florida. Went to Palm Beach Central High School in Wellington, and Florida State. Lines one down the right field, left field line rather. Playing it off the wall is Dean, and a leadoff double for Devin Travis. Time for the Toyota Inside Look. Dan Straley last night, a season-high 8 innings, a 1.20 ERA in 2 interleague starts this season, and 3 or fewer runs allowed in 8 straight at home.
Love it. Dan Straley has been absolutely outstanding. I think we've seen it maybe best displayed over his last 2 starts, and I even think back to the first at-bat of the ballgame, because to me it always opens up the Straley story. The breaking ball, when that slider is working, when he's throwing it for strikes, when he's adding and subtracting velocity to it, he is so dangerous. It helps his fastball play up, literally up in the zone. And of course, puts himself in a great spot to even use that changeup a little bit more, which he hasn't really needed a whole lot of last 2 times out.
Justin Smoke grounds one foul outside of third, 0-1. Smoke the strikeout victim in the first inning.
Chen able to put Smoke away using his secondary pitches. Started him off with a slow breaking ball at 72 miles an hour. Smoke has shown the willingness to swing. He really wants to attack tonight from the right side. To put a secondary pitch in a good spot, I think he'll get another strikeout right here.
Smoke's homered in 3 straight games for the 3rd time in his career. Of course, the pinch hit grand slam last night, first for a Toronto player since Reed Johnson in 2005. Maybe the bat starting to come to life a little bit after a slow 3 weeks or so. Out to right field, Sierra tracks it down and fires in. Travis will advance to third with 1 out.
It's easy to beat the heat when you become an energy-saving expert. Go to FPL.com/beattheheat.
So run around third, less than 2 out for Randall Grichuk. Flew out to Brinson to end the first inning. He's 0 for 1 at the plate, but to this point, perhaps his biggest impact was a catch up against the wall on a drive by Brian Anderson with the bases loaded in the bottom of the first inning.
Be careful. Grichuk has hit pretty well with runners in scoring position this season. 263, 525 slugging percentage.
I know we've talked an awful lot about the home road splits for Wei-Yin Chen, but just looking at his numbers kind of overall, he's allowed 4 earned runs or less in 16 of his 21 starts, 3 earned runs or less in 14 of his 21 starts. And as Don Mattingly talked about before the game today, perhaps what's been most encouraging about Chen throughout the season is that there really haven't been any setbacks injury-wise. You know,
you're absolutely right.
Once he got back, he stayed back.
That's what the Marlins saw an awful lot of last year, the starting and stopping. And I think you walk into this season with that element of unpredictability. And I think he, to be fair to the situation, I think he was even managed with that in mind. The Marlins trying to protect him, and I think at times maybe from himself, just based on the inability to get back consistently, because there was so much starting and stopping that when he finally got back to the Marlins, and I think back to a couple of times early on this season where Don Mattingly went out in the ball game and there was a stressful 4th inning or a stressful 5th inning and his pitch count was at 75, but he was more inclined to get him out of the ball game, and I think it made sense at the time. I'd be willing to bet it wouldn't happen now, though, and the reason I say that is that Chen has earned that trust back. That's how it works. Your manager wants to trust you. He wants to believe that you're going to be the guy to get you through that lineup, you know, not one time, not two times, but at least 3 times on just about every start he makes. But then you're in a position to, you got to factor in health and where he's at on the mound, how much he's labored. And I think because of the injury, they have tried to be very cautious with him early on.
Well, it was a season-high 109 pitches last time out for him. And 3 times this season, he has gone over 100 pitches. And they've been basically within the last month. July 24th, August 12th, August 25th. Grichuk out to left. Dean makes the play, tagging from third. And scoring is Travis, 2-1. RBI for Grichuk, who's been hot as of late. Tomorrow, as we mentioned earlier, Jeff Brigham makes his Marlins debut. Craig Minervini, Jeff Nelson on the air at 12:30 for the South Florida Honda Dealers Marlins Live pregame show. Pilar to Anderson, spins and throws, and Prado!
Oh, yes, sir!
Prado had to go up to get him. He came down and applied the tag.
That's the safe out call at first base. I'm going without. The second one counts, not the first one.
You can't possibly be wrong if you call them both.
That's right. Wow. What a great tag by Prado. That's so hard to tell, but got to remember this now. The out call is, well, the call is out. It's what we know. He's kind of standing around to see where this one's going to go. And they're going to let it go. What a play all the way around.
Not at first base since 2012. Come on now. 2-1. In Miami on a Saturday night. 2-1, Marlins on top as we go to the 5th inning. Paul Severino, Todd Hollinsworth, and Craig Minervini. Second game of a 3-game series against the Toronto Blue Jays. Wei-Yin Chen will face Russell Martin, Danny Jansen, and Teoscar Hernandez in the 5th. It's the second to last homestand of the year. The finale against the Phillies, or Blue Jays tomorrow, then the Phillies in town for 3. An off day before a 3-city road trip, and then home for the Nats for 2, an off day, and then a 4-game set against the Reds, and that will do it for the home schedule this year. 0-2 to Russell Martin.
Now, one thing that the Marlins can say they probably did a little bit better than other things is play competitive baseball here at Marlins Park. A few games left to hustle out. I can promise you that they're going to play a good. Can't promise wins, but I can promise that they're going to compete. And we've certainly seen this starting staff figure a few things out. Straley pitching well at home. Chen pitching well at home. Richards throwing the ball well at home as well.
That's right. And one thing you brought up when we talked with Michael Hill a couple of weeks ago, their home record. Hoping to get a little bit closer, maybe finishing at a 500 record here at home. Low to Martin, 3-2. Payoff pitch on the way to Martin. In the air out to right field for Sierra. Will make a catch on the edge of the track. One away. Geico presents this day in Marlins history. A 16-10 win as the Dolphins beat the Redskins that day, evidently. Marlins' first NL team to score at least 4 runs in each of the first 3 innings since 1992. That was on this day in 2010. Danny Jansen takes outside. I guess you could say, in a way, a good eye for Danny Jansen. He wears those goggles, and the story behind that is he couldn't see, and nobody really knew why he wasn't hitting the way that he was supposed to be hitting. In 2013, he hit 246, and then 2015 hit 210, but he went to the eye doctor. Turns out he couldn't see very well, so now all of a sudden he wears the goggles.
Well, basically what you're implying is that nobody knew why he couldn't hit and he couldn't see, but even he didn't know that he should be seeing better.
Had some eye problems, was able to get the glasses that he's wearing right now. And as Muhammad Ali once said, your hands can't hit what your eyes can't see. And now he's here in the big leagues. Enters with a .324 average. Been on base in 11 of his 12 big league games, and also has developed and worked on quite a rapport with the pitching staff. That's been one of the things that you hear and read. That one foul outside of third. Close, but foul.
Yeah, that's the ball right there as Jansen's hustling down the line. He was hoping that it would be fair until it was fielded by Anderson, and he sees the throw across the diamond, and he's thinking, okay, well, maybe I'll get an infield hit, and then he sees the throw, and he's like, yeah, no, foul ball. I've been there a few times. You're like, yes, no, yes, no.
It was close, but not in the outfield, so not reviewable. Cut on and missed. Apologize for his frustration. And there are 2 outs here in the 5th.
Chen continues to pick up strikeouts on the fastball. We talked about it at the beginning of this ball game. He's had a good one. Of course, he's used a few more secondary pitches against the Toronto Blue Jays. They're a very aggressive group. You see the swing there, a very defensive swing. Some frustration as he's walking off. The one thing Chen really has mastered at Marlins Park, I had a good conversation with Don Mattingly just before the game just about this, that outside lane, particularly against right-handed hitters. Chen doesn't get a whole lot of lefties in there. Every now and again you'll see a few. Of course, the Toronto Blue Jays have stacked all these righties up against him, so he's continued to really just zone in on that outer third, add and subtract, kind of work around that corner a bit.
Spins and throws and gets it to Prado. Nice play. 5 innings in the books for Wei-Yin Chen. He and the Marlins have a 2-1 lead. One more look. Goes Martin, I got this. And he did. For ERA. Wei-Yin Chen to lead things off. Swings at the first pitch, chops one just out of the reach of Martin, and Gurriel has no play. An infield single for Wei-Yin Chen.
Craig's smile. There you go. Chen's gotten a little better as the season has gone on. Elevated fastball, hits over the top. Ground ball to the left side, but gets it past Russell Martin at third. Knows and starts to smell a base hit. Gurriel really has to no shot at Chen, who was already halfway down the line.
Three balls and no strikes. Marlins looking to add to a 1-run lead here in the 5th inning. That one low, and they will on a bases-loaded walk. Anderson gets the RBI. Chen scores. And it's 3-1 Miami.
Estrada sitting at 90 pitches. Sure, well.
Prado in the air, left field line. Hernandez in foul territory, cannot make the catch.
For me, speaking from the outfielder position, when you're running over as fast as you can trying to make a catch and this happens, remember that ball, as you see the arm kind of come out, that's still 15, 20 feet off the ground. One fan reaches out. Ball goes right through his hands.
I don't know if it's enough to overturn the call.
Well, I don't argue that. I'm actually just arguing the fact that the fans need to keep their arms back. I mean, well, listen, these high walls, how many times we've seen an outfielder run into the high wall this season where he tries to maybe make potentially a catch, but that ball gets deflected by a finger or a hand.
Right.
And then you see the outfielder kind of ducking for cover because now outfielders see whether he can have impact, how much he tries to catch it.
Yeah, they're going to call it a foul ball. The call was confirmed.
Well, what Hernandez does when he gets over there, he bails. After he sees those arms come out and the ball kind of ricochets a little bit, he covers his head up and says, okay, enough. I'm not trying to catch it anymore.
So they're out of challenges. The Marlins have a 3-1 lead and back to it, 0-1 from Estrada to Prado. Prado a fly out and a line out so far tonight. Chance here in the 5th inning to blow it open a little bit for Miami. In the air, left center field. This might do just that. That's going to hop off the wall. 1 run scores. 2 runs are going to score. And here comes the 3rd. A bases clearing double for Martin Prado. Welcome back.
Well, first couple of times up tonight for Martin Prado. We watched him do what he does so well, try to go to middle right field. This time, this at bat really concentrated, really was trying to pull the baseball. We saw it on the foul ball, and we're certainly going to see it on this fastball that gets turned around. Drives it into left center field and clears the bases. Good swing at the right time. Marlins capitalized with runners in scoring position.
And that is going to do it for Marco Estrada. Martin Prado's 9th double knocks him out of the game. The Florida Lottery call to the bullpen.
Marlins baseball, it is Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month around the country, and Major League Baseball as an initiative has Go Gold, their main initiative. Many of the people have the gold hats tonight, and Pediatric Cancer Awareness Night is tonight. We have several groups here to chat with. We know Live Like Bella from several years. This is Alex Alvarez. Tell me more about Live Like Bella and how things are going with your foundation.
Hello, hi. So we are here for Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month, and we're super thankful for the Marlins and Major League Baseball for doing this. So Live Like Bella is an organization founded 5 years ago in memory of Bella Rodriguez-Torres, and our mission is to make pediatric cancer a treatable and curable disease, and we're not going to stop until a cure is found. So that is our mission, and it's with partners like this and people like this that we're going to be able to do that and continue.
Give her a hand. That's okay. Give her a hand. Sylvia Yanni is here from Mystic Force Foundation, and this is an interesting stat you had about pediatric cancer. Sylvia?
Yes. Hi. So pediatric cancer is the #1 disease killer of children in our country. The incidence of childhood cancer continues to rise, yet government funding for childhood cancer research remains less than 4%. We started the Mystic Force Foundation 10 years ago when my 4-year-old baby was diagnosed with cancer. Sadly, he lost his battle with cancer, but we continue our mission to try to find a cure. And the only way that we are going to make that happen is to continue to raise awareness. So we are thankful to the Marlins and giants like the Major League Baseball who help us to raise awareness. This is the only way that we are going to get anywhere. We've made monumental strides in the last year, and we need to continue to do that. So we are all gold strong now. We will find a cure for childhood cancer and for children like Kaysen who deserve a future.
Well said. Thank you, Sylvia. Well said. Penelope here. This is Penelope right over here, and Luis Rodriguez along with his wife Priscilla. Penelope's under 3 years old. I know this is an important night. It means obviously a lot to all of us and for you guys especially.
Yes, it is. We have a great support group here with us. A wonderful group right there. We're also here together celebrating because it'll be her second birthday on Thursday. So we're all really excited to gather here today with her.
And so important to raise awareness and obviously funds to find a cure for this.
Absolutely. And she has a rare classification of a brain tumor. She has a ganglioneuroblastoma that's just related to the brain and the central nervous system. So she is definitely a special little baby.
All right, so important even in the middle of a baseball game, Paul and Holly, to get these words out. Major League Baseball is doing a great job with the Go Gold initiative, and we want to just bring you a little sense of what's going on here at the park tonight on Pediatric Cancer Awareness Night. Back to you guys.
Absolutely, Craig. Thanks so much. Yeah, in partnership with Stand Up to Cancer, Major League Baseball, the clubs raising awareness. That's why you see the yellow wristbands, the yellow pins. There's a lot of yellow hats in the ballpark tonight. So yes, a very special night, and it's certainly it hits home with a lot and with too many, frankly. So
yeah, they are doing incredible work. A early happy birthday to that sweet Penelope. My goodness.
Called strike 3, back-to-back strikeouts for Chen here in the 6th.
Sitting there on her daddy's shoulder right there. Yeah, nestled in.
Six strikeouts for Wei-Yin Chen. As Devin Travis takes low.
Travis, the one guy that Chen is going to do his best to figure out third time through. Travis 2 for 2 in the ball game. Double and scored his last time. Up in the 4th.
Chen has been on tonight. He has also been, of course, the beneficiary of 6 runs. Helped create a little breathing room for him on the mound. A couple of strikeouts in this 6th inning and a fly ball out to right field. 6 really good frames for Wei-Yin Chen.
Good signs for Chen as he steps into the box for his third at bat of the ball game. He's got himself a base hit tonight. Sacrifice as well. Came around to score. In fact, ignited the rally in the 5th inning.
Right, you were right about that. Count 0-2 to Guerreri. Right back to him. 2 ground ball outs here in the 6th. Wei-Yin Chen back out to work the 7th. Justin Smoke, Randall Grichuk, Kevin Pillar due up. At this point, Chen picking up right where he left off in August. A 1.54 ERA in his last 4. And starting September with 6 innings of 1-run ball.
Well, I'll certainly play off of yesterday. Chen picking up where Dan Straley left off. How about the Marlins starters the first 2 games? Starts the 7th inning. 14 innings. 8 of them have been 1-2-3 innings. I mean, that is just dominant stuff. 6 innings, couple hits tonight. No walks, 6 Ks.
More look at those August numbers. 188 opponent batting average. He surrendered 2 hits for the first 20 batters faced. Brinson makes the play right at him.
I'll tell you what, I think you're going to agree with me, Paul, when I ask you this, but there was one thing that I think the Marlins were really hoping for from Chen tonight. I know, look at the bottom line, he's only given up the 1 earned run in 6+ innings. First thing that comes to my mind based on what we've seen over the last few ball games, efficiency, lengthy starts, the ability to go deep into a ball game. I think yesterday, after the off day, the Marlins had basically reset and that things back to normal. But clearly, after yesterday's ball game, last night's ball game, Marlins certainly thinking some things through as far as what the answers in that bullpen might actually be. But Chen is making them easier with each out he gets, the deeper he goes into this game.
Well, he's given the Marlins at least 6 innings 7 times since June 16. So you go back and count all those up. That's 12 starts. And there's some 5 2/3 mixed in there. So the bottom line is he's getting outs. I mean, again, the numbers are what they are. The home road splits, we've talked about it a million times, but he has really avoided those blow-up starts, really, thankfully.
And he's found his rhythm, particularly at Marlins Park. It seems like it's about ready to carry over to road starts as well. There's optimism around that, but my goodness, continue to talk about the outside lane, that outer third against the righties, and he continues to dial it up. Let's be honest, I mean, we've seen this now a number of times, third time through, and you start to expect that the opposition will have better passes against him or better at bats. That just has not been the case.
Devin Travis has 2 hits. The rest of the Blue Jays have none. This is Sierra in foul territory. He has retired the last 12. 7 great innings for Wei-Yin Chen.
Now we taking over the game, taking over. Yeah, we taking over the game, take over. Now we taking over the game, and you know we won't stop. Now we taking over the game, taking over. Yeah, we taking over the game, take over. 'Cause now we taking over the game. Yeah, we never stop. We don't feel the pain.
6-1 the score as we head to the last of the 7th inning. Paul Severino, Todd Hollinsworth, Craig Minervini here with you. As Wei-Yin Chen, 7 very good innings in the books, and perhaps coming back out for the 8th. We shall see. Talking things over with pitching coach Juan Nieves about what's been working tonight and what might still be working if he goes out for the 8th. But first, the Marlins bat. Wei-Yin Chen out for the 8th inning. He gets the ball, and he has gone a season-long 7 1/3 once this year. That was against the Washington Nationals in May. Tonight, thus far, 7 innings, 2 hits, a run, no walks. And that's very impressive. 7 strikeouts as well. Gone 8 innings 6 times in his career.
Yeah, all with the Baltimore Orioles. Last time, July 12th, 2015, interestingly enough, against the Washington Nationals.
Strike to Russell Martin. Martin, Jansen, and Teoscar Hernandez here in the 8th inning. So he's at 93 pitches. Looks like there is some movement in the Marlins bullpen right now. But as we have said all year long, in this ballpark, the Marlins play a different brand of baseball than they do on the road. That's Adam Conley. And I believe Drew Rosinski is the one stretching on the left. But now here we are, back-to-back nights where the starters were deep into the ballgame. And back-to-back nights where the offense provides a little run support. Hopefully these last 6 outs go a little smoother than last night.
I'll tell you what, Chen and Realmuto have been working very well together tonight. Good rhythm, good timing, working off that outside edge.
Up the middle, Rojas. We check in with Craig.
Thank you, Paul. We've got a special Sunday edition of Marlins Live tomorrow, including a visit with a name that you just say this name and Marlin fans get a smile. I know Todd Hollandsworth will have a smile. Your old pal Mike Mordecai.
Yes,
he used to do these movie reviews where we talked with him. But tomorrow we're going to chat about his big hit in Chicago, of course, in Game 6 that helped the Marlins win the National League Championship Series, and a lot more. He's the quality control coach. What the heck is that? We'll talk about that. Holly, you had a good view of that double, as I recall.
Yes, I did. Running around the bases, I certainly did. I was on first, but Morty launched one into the left center field gap at Wrigley Field.
He's a good guy.
Oh, great guy.
And we'll get to chat with him tomorrow. It'll be fun on Marlins Live.
Looking forward to that, Craig. Thanks so much. All right, Holly, so a quality control coach, just give me a general gist of what that would be.
Well, that's keeping guys like Craig Minervini in line.
Well,
quality control.
Then he deserves a raise.
Of course, I'm just kidding. Well, I think maybe the right way to say this is because I know what I've heard the job is, but it's another opportunity to have a good baseball mind on the bench. I know that there is a label that kind of goes behind it, but quality control coaches, and I've run into a few throughout my career, they do a variety of different things.
Right. Well, that's
so
why I asked.
to kind of try to throw a label at it like he does this, I'm not qualified to really even go there, but I do know that the people who have filled the role bring different qualities to the position
and control them.
Keep things under control. That's right. Well, what do we know about Morty? I mean, there wasn't a guy on our team that didn't think Mike Mordecai would be a big league manager someday. He kind of was like our second manager, even with our 03 crew, in all honesty. Morty used to walk up and Doug, you see that man over there, like he just got his hair cut yesterday, right? Like he did that in 03. He looked exactly the same. Hair's just a little, maybe slightly grayer.
Line out to right field, a base hit for Teoscar Hernandez.
MLB at Bat is your #1 Marlins app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Marlins home screen icons and features such as MLB.TV, Game of the Day, live radio broadcasts, in-game highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today.
Pitcher spot due up. This will be Kendrys Morales. Smoke and Morales, 12 home runs since August 19th. That's 11 games. And there are 10 teams that don't have as many home runs in that span as this tandem. Of course, Morales had that 7-game streak where he hit a home run every day.
Now Juan Nieves out to talk to Chen, probably passing along a message similar to, we talked about this last night, you mentioned the piece that you've been reading about mound visits. This mound visit goes something like this. This is your last batter. What do we want to do? How are you going to go about it? Whether you get him or not, this is it. So let it all hang out right here. Make your best pitches against Morales, but the night ends whether you get him out or not. So get after it. Morales 2 for 15 pitch hitting this season. Does have a home run. Has 4 in his career.
Takes the ball outside, 1-0. Mentioned that homer streak. He was 0 for 8 in the 2 games after that. 0 for 3 last night before a single in the 9th inning.
You know, what's so interesting to me is that, you know, we talk about the cat and mouse game that goes on between batters and pitchers. And Chen, they've said it, I don't know, at least over the last 2 or 3 months, the number of times I've talked outer third, and Chen's ability to dominate, hide the ball well, bring the ball back to the corner, pairing that with JT Realmuto, and as we watch him kind of steal strikes, as I like to say. You talk, what's your term?
Presenting strikes. That's from the catcher's perspective.
Well,
right.
I mean, they've got this going on so well right now, but no offense has really forced Chen off his game. I mean, it was like even the approach against Morales, stay away. And yet you continue to see, you know, hitters try to, right-handed hitters, go out to that outside corner and try to, you know, get after it. When he's had to make a pitch, it's been a fastball low and away. We've seen Travis deep fly ball to right. We know how this ballpark plays. If you're going to make a mistake away, because it's hard to go, you know, hit a home run away.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Fouled into the second deck. On the 7 2/3 tonight for Wei-Yin Chen, his longest start as a Marlin. His 2 longest starts as a Marlin have come this year. Trying to get through 8. Here it comes. Right side, Prado flips, and Wei-Yin Chen. 8 innings of work. Back-to-back nights where a Marlin starter goes 8. 6-1 here in Miami. Great start for Wei-Yin Chen. He went 8 innings in this ball game, his longest start as a Marlin. No walks and 7 strikeouts.
Paul, it has been 4 years since we've seen the Marlins go back-to-back with 8-inning starts. They go back to 2014. Yeah, that's 4 years. Get out my fingers. Right. It's the New York Mets. Alvarez went 9 innings. Tom Kohler went 8.
And Smoke went deep. A 2-run home run for Justin Smoke to close the gap. Now a 3-run ball game.
Now that theme continues to present itself. Big league hitters hit velocity. They hit velocity in hitters' counts. And again, they continue to swing the strike zone. That's what you do. In this instance, Smoke sitting nothing but dead red. Why else wouldn't he? That's all you've seen from Guerrero tonight, and you see JT's glove kind of creeping back to the inner third. Smoke all over it. Gonna go upper deck.
So now it's Randall Grichuk. So I'll update that note that I passed along before. Smoke and Morales now have 13 home runs since August 19th. That's now 12 games.
Smoke's home run, 410 feet, 106 miles an hour off the bat.
Team leading 22nd home run. Check that, 23rd home run for Justin Smoke. Line, a little looper, in fact, over the second base bag. Miguel Rojas able to make the play. That is out number 2. So that'll bring up Pilar. Win for Chen and the Marlins. Waiting in the balance.
Smoke is now homered in a 4th consecutive game.
Pilar, drive out to right center field, but Brinson is there to make the catch, and it's a Marlins win. 6-3 the final score. Dominant 8 innings of work from Wei-Yin Chen, who picks up his 6th win of the season. Something of a nail-biter in the 9th inning, but a win nonetheless, as Chen continues to pitch extremely well here at Marlins Park. The success continues. Great in August, and his first start in September.
Well, congratulations to Cy Chen. He was outstanding once again tonight. Mixed his pitches well. The fastball was right where it needed to be. He was everything the Marlins could have hoped for. We talked about it, needing efficiency, meaning length in start. Got that tonight. 8 solid innings, matching his career high. And oh boy, oh by the way, the offense backed it up. They came through with a couple of big hits tonight, including Martin Prado.
Yeah, Martin Prado, his first game off the disabled list in what has been an injury-riddled season for him. But he comes up with the bases-clearing double that really helped to open up the scoring for the Marlins in this ball game. Part of that 4-run 5th inning that turned, at the time, a 2-1 game into a much more manageable edge for the Marlins, and they win this one 6-3. We check in with Craig.
Well, thank you very much, Paul. Martin, getting back had to be fun for you. I know it's been a frustrating year. How nice was it to get back in there for you guys tonight?
Really happy, man. Just it's really hard to watch from the dugout or whatever, like rehab place that I was the whole year. I see this guy grinding every day, and the least that I can do is just help him. And whatever I was just trying to get healthy and be up there with them. I know they've been through a lot, and not to be able to be part of that is a little like it hurt me a lot.
Well, the good news was that you are back, because when you went out with that injury on August 13th, that quad, it looked like, boy, I hope you're coming back. I hope there's enough time for you to get back. Were you concerned at all?
Yeah, well, that day I thought was, worse than that it looks, but thanks to the trainer, like staff and everybody, just kept me, like on my feet, and knowing that that was possible to be back before this season was ending. But it's just so happy, like we got a really good team win today.
Yeah, you certainly, especially after the loss last night, and your double was huge. Kind of everybody breathing a sigh of relief on this double. What was the key to that at bat, and how great did that feel to drive in 3?
Like it's been a while since saw live pitching, but I was just kind of like looking for a good pitch and put a good swing on it, and I think he missed inside, and I didn't try to do too much, so it was a good hit right there for the team.
And what was it like on the other side of the diamond for you, first base?
Oh, I was so nervous. Like I
really?
didn't know what. Yeah, I was just kind of like, I've been thinking the whole day. Just kind of like, and Bone has been key for me, and trying to tell me a lot of tips that it will help me to be like more agile in our first base. It's a lot of going on, so it's gonna take me a while, but I'm up there for my team, so that's all.
Pretty good in that tag play there.
Yeah, like I jumped for the ball, and my first thought was just stack the guy. So I've been there like in the past. It's been a long time since. But overall, Chen threw the ball really well, and every single guy that we just battled the whole game, good at bats, and that's all we asked for.
Good going, and we avoided the monkey somehow tonight too. So thanks.
Yes, thank you.
Martin Prado, guys, back to you.
Craig Martin, thanks so much. Yes, a good team win is exactly what Martin said. Nice to have him back on a night where the team may be a little bit bigger on September 1st when the rosters expand. But 8 strong from Wei-Yin Chen, who lowers his home ERA to 1.77. Marlins Live postgame show is next.